Cohn Lee. About 5 years ago, I get this missing persons case up in Tacoma for a guy named Dom Flitcraft. I flew up there, did a little digging. One day, Dom left his office, was supposed to grab some lunch with a work buddy, then play golf later that afternoon. Never showed up for lunch, missed his golf game, never came home. His wife and children never saw him again. So I started the usual way, asked the usual questions. Checked for a mistress, big debts, secret criminal activities, witness protection. Nope. No affairs or gambling problems. Even went around and started skimming some lakes and rivers. No dead body. Nothing. He was clean as far as I could tell. Good-looking wife, 2 healthy kids, a huge house, a good-paying job, and no apparent vices. But nobody's really that happy with their family, right? I spent a month on the case, never found a single lead. So sent the wife a bill and that was it. But it always left a little hole in me, just leaving it unsolved. What was I missing? What couldn't I see? Kind of made me doubt myself. Then last year, I'm up in Spokane visiting family when I see this guy who looks just like Dom. I mean, I should know, I spent a lot of time looking for this guy. So I followed the look around for a few hours and eventually I talked to him. The guy said his name was Charles Pierce, but eventually I got him to admit that indeed he was Dom Flitcraft. Turns out, on the day of his disappearance, on his way to lunch, he was walking by this huge high-rise under construction. Suddenly, this big steel I-beam falls 10 stories down. Bam! Hits the pavement right in front of him. Barely misses him. A piece of the concrete flew up and hit him in the cheek, and it took a little piece of skin off, leaving a scar under his eye. Scared stiff, of course, but he was more shocked than really frightened. He said that it felt like someone had thrown hot water on him, and finally, he was awake. He'd been a good citizen, a good husband and father, and simply because he thought that's how he was supposed to be. He'd been raised that way, and the people around him were like that. Now this falling beam had shown him that life was none of those things. A good citizen husband and father wiped out by a random accident. Alive only because blind chance had spared him. I mean, he loved his family, he supposed, but his love for them was not the sort that would make his absence painful. He left them financially provided for, so he had no feelings of guilt leaving them behind. So, he hitched down to San Francisco, played around with some risky women, and took up a few vices, and for a couple of years, he wandered. But eventually, he drifted back to the Northwest, settled down in Spokane, and started doing what he did best, making connections. Currently, Charles Pierce runs a successful real estate company. Married, second baby on its way, and he owns a 3-story home in the suburbs. When I'd accosted him, he was going to play his afternoon golf. His second wife didn't look exactly like the first, but they were more similar than they were different. That's the part I liked. He adjusted himself to the beams falling, and when they stopped, he adjusted himself to them not falling.